In this video, I'm going to show you how to actually do things on Kodiak with a ThinLinc connection. So let's start up a ThinLinc session. Putting in my password. You actually can quit the ThinLinc client without logging off of Kodiak. And if that happens, then you can just come back in and everything will be the way it was when you left. We'll give you a sample of that later. To get started on Kodiak with something useful, our starting point will be activities and then the terminal. So this is a terminal window. It's just a text window, but it's very powerful and very useful. What you see here is a $sign, and that $sign is what we call the command prompt. That's where we type commands. And this, if I click on it, make this the focus window, my cursor blinks, and that's where I'll start typing. So the first command to show you is pwd. That stands for present working directory. And as I press enter, it just reports to me the present working directory. So the current directory is Blair E. That's my username. Every user has their own home directory, and this is mine, so yours will be your username. And a parent directory to that, or you might think upstream or higher level, is home. So Blair E is within the home directory or within the home folder. So folder and directory are synonymous. And then home is inside the ion directory. So this / is a delimiter. And that's the way it is on Unix or Linux machines. I believe this is Linux. A Windows machine will do the same thing with this folder path, but the folders are delimited by a / instead of a / if I am correct. So that's pwd, present working directory. Another command is ls. I'll type ls, and it lists the content of the present working directory. For me, I have quite a few files here. It lists files, and then folders show up in blue. So that's a thing. If you've just started, you might have only a few folders here in your home directory, like pictures, for example, and then public, and then music. So basically, like things for your desktop, like you'd have on a normal desktop machine, documents, downloads. So we have pwd and we have ls. Another one is cd, so that's change directory. So I'll type pwd, and we're in Blair E as we saw before. If I type cd, I can go to another directory, like here's videos. Let's go to videos, for example. Videos. And then I hit enter. And then now the prompt here, left of the $sign, the command prompt, shows that I'm in the videos folder. And if I type pwd, now it's this path, whereas it used to be a little bit shorter, the parent folder, Blair E, and now we're in the daughter folder, videos. If I want to go up, I can do cd, and then there's a shortcut, dot means go to the parent directory, or it references the parent directory. And so if you do that and then type pwd once again, I'm back in my home folder. Let's do this again. Go to videos. And one thing that's nice is there's tab completion. So if I just type vi and then hit tab, it finishes it because videos was the only option. And it added a / that's okay. Hit enter. If I type ls, it returns nothing, so there's nothing there. I can do cd, and if I do 1 dot instead of 2 periods, right, period or dot, period refers to the same folder, this folder, so it doesn't change my location. But if I do cd dot, then we go up a folder. I'm going to go to another folder, like Emacs, for example. And you could imagine going deeper and deeper. You can create new folders. So let's do another command, mkdir, that's make directory, and let's make it temp. And if I do ls inside spacemax, I had a learning folder already. I guess I could have showed you that, but now I created this temp folder, and you can see that with ls. There's another option for ls. If I type ls-lt, let's just do L. It lists things, and it shows you a timestamp, like when was it created or when was it edited. If I do ls-lt, it does the same thing, but now it orders them in time from newest to oldest. So here's my ls.lt command, and then the output that it spat out. Okay, so we can do things like pwd, we can do cd, and ls-lt. One thing you might like is to go to your home folder. Maybe you're deep in some directory path and you just want to go back to your home folder quickly. The way to do that is using the tilde. The tilde references your home folder. So I just want to go directly to my home folder, cd space tilde, which is the shortcut basically for your home folder. Also, maybe I'm somewhere deep, like let's go back to spacemax and my temp folder, in fact. So if I do pwd, you can see I'm kind of deep in here. I'm further away from my home folder. Let's say we know that my home folder contains a video folder and I want to go there. I can do cd tilde for home folder, and then I can just type vi lowercase and tab completion, and it knows I want to go to my home folder and videos folder. So there we are. So that's a little bit about navigation. I'm going to go back to the spacemax folder. Whoops. I need to go, I guess, home and then spacemax. Oh, it didn't like it. See? Okay, back to my home directory. See, sometimes you get lost and you just have to go home. There's spacemax. And I'm going to delete the temp. So the rm command is very powerful. Be careful of rm. It means remove things. I'm going to type rf, because like, watch this. If I do rm temp, it won't let me do it. It says can't remove it. It's a directory. But I can do rm-rf. I think I can just do f. Let's see that. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, it doesn't like that either. So now let's do rf. Yep, and it doesn't complain. That's how you do it. And if I do ls, I see that the temp directory is gone. Okay, that is some basic file space navigation. The next thing I'll show you briefly is how to start a useful program. Let's go back to my home directory. And I can do, I believe it's CLC maybe. Nope, clear. It clears the terminal. It gets rid of all that confusing stuff. Emacs is a program that we'll have you use, so I can just do Emacs ampersand. Now the ampersand is nice because it allows you to continue to use the terminal when Emacs is running. So I'll just show you what that means. Here I've used the terminal. We started up Emacs, and I can go back to the terminal and type commands in the terminal, and I can still use Emacs. Now I'm going to quit Emacs, and I'm going to show you what happens when I don't put the ampersand there. So I've quit Emacs. I'm going to do Emacs again. Now the nice thing about terminal is it has command history, so I can press up arrow and I see my pwd. I press up arrow again, Emacs, and so I'm going to get rid of the ampersand, just hit enter, and now Emacs is running, right? But now if I go back to the command window, I don't have the $sign. I have a blinky cursor, but if I type pwd, it doesn't do anything because control has not yet been returned to the terminal. It's all with Emacs. So once I close Emacs, I can use my terminal again. You can see why it's handy to do the ampersand. That's actually what we call backgrounding. So the terminal runs Emacs in the background and allows you to continue to use the terminal for other purposes. So I like to background things. Okay, so now we've shown you how to use Emacs or start up some other program. One thing to be careful about is, we've logged into Kodiak here. I'm using the terminal, but we have to keep in mind that Kodiak isn't one computer. It's actually many computers, many nodes. Each node is a computer. And the node that is supporting these graphics and any calculations that I do, any processing that I do, the node that's running Emacs is the login node. The login node is a communal resource because it's like the gateway to Kodiak. Anyone who wants to log in interacts with the login node, and they're running things on the login node. So it's good practice to not run heavy programs on the login node because it bogs the login node down, and the performance of the login node suffers for everyone. Or worse, we could crash the login node and anyone who's using it gets kicked off of Kodiak and everybody gets upset. And then the Kodiak custodians find us. We'll be kind and we won't run heavy duty programs on the login node. But ThinLinc is fine. Certain Python processes, Emacs in org mode is fine. If we're careful with our Emacs, we can write it so that we run Python scripts that push heavy calculations onto the compute nodes. The compute nodes, they're not login nodes. That's where the login nodes pushes the heavy calculations so that one person can use this login or this compute node and another person can use another compute node. Okay, so we can close Emacs. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to quit this ThinLinc session without logging out. This is actually the nice thing. If your internet session drops for whatever reason, all is not lost because I can just log in to ThinLinc. And while my connection to Kodiak got lost, the session on Kodiak did not. And so once we log back in, I'm right where I left off. So that's enough for this tutorial.